Welcome. I'm Mike Sharkwright, and today we'll be talking about Star Trek Online, and more particularly the some sets of the Braydon Reconnaissance Technologies Set, which is from the Signs and Portents mission. Now, I'd personally recommend you guys to like, comment, and subscribe if you can, because it really helps us out. Alright, again, this is one of the missions where you've got to replay it. Many of these missions that really have their own 3-week events that involve rewards locking each week, in addition to having a bonus reward for that week. Many of these events add an enhanced universal tech upgrade or one specialization point for completing it for that week. This afternoon we learned how to get through this as fast as we can and speedrun it. Actually, I'll tell you now, this episode isn't really speedrunnable because the only thing we could do is just mash through the continue as fast as we can through the lines of dialogue and just go fast when we can. And there are some changes from the previous set talks. But basically, this is another 4-piece set. Unlike many of the other anniversary episodes, we've only got one more set talk of an anniversary episode. This set has a part of that is locked to an event ship. This event ship, the Lucari Hokum science vessel, is in the Phoenix box as an epic prize. Due to how hard or expensive it is to obtain this ship, most of my analysis treat this part which requires the ship to be unavailable. Some additional notes, and I'm going to be keeping these always for the future set notes. All stats shown will be shown as Mark 12, very rare, unless I note otherwise. Any stat that I miss will usually depend on a stat variable on your ship, so engine power and various other stuff. Most unique mission gear will be given at Mark 12, very rare, unless noted. Basically, what you see is what you're going to get. If you can somehow obtain it before level 50, you'll be able to obtain the Mark appropriate version up to your level at very rare. If you do obtain a Mark 2 deflect away from this set, you are perfectly capable of freely upgrading it to Mark 12, very rare. You will not get the chance to upgrade the quality. The rarity is unlike with these, so you will always get a Mark 12 very rare when you're upgrading. No, until you hit Mark 12 very rare. So let's get started. Now, the Braydon Reconnaissance Deflector Array here it increases starship shield capacity, control expertise, drain expertise, and starship perception. Pretty decent control. Is probably one of the highest I've seen on a deflector array for a while, and I bet that could go even higher if I had prepped it up. With the inputs engines, we'll be covering on the left side of the standard input stuff. It's 70.5 inputs expertise, which basically 15 flight speed and plus 13.5 turn rate, which means this is a quite nippy engine. And at full impulse, of course, you just get really fast and you lose drain power out of it all over stats more than engines. Micro Pulse Overcharge. This is a unique ability to this ship. This is a speed boost and a damaging shockwave. This basically gives you a big explosion round at the rear, basically, and kicks everyone around. Depending on behind you. You basically gain. Basically, you basically won't be able to turn that much, but you'll get about a speed boost of four times your actual current speed. At 4 seconds, you'll basically lose engine power for a few seconds. However, this won't apply if you have the 4-piece set bonus, and to the enemies behind you, you will gain. They'll be done some plasma damage. I believe it's not particularly brilliant, but it does do some. And cones, enemy in the cone behind you will be knocked back if you have the 4-piece set bonus. Yeah, this is not particularly brilliant, but it's it's bonus to your engines. Now comes the shields. Now you get as a conveyance shield. It's pretty much it's a high capacity shield, and it's nearly 10,000, but it's 10,000 shield capacity, and you get shield regeneration, but that's standard. When a shield facing is depleted, you get increased flight turn and speed for 5 seconds, and you can only trigger this once every 60 seconds. So you can't just have it. So you can only hit, and this also decreases slightly when you have the 4-piece set. I'm glad I put in the notes about 4-piece set at the beginning, because. But anyway, that we've done 3 pieces of the set, so let's cover the set bonuses. Now this is if you equip 2 pieces of the set and 2 or more pieces of the set. I mean, you always get the set bonuses from the you always get 2 if you have all 4 pieces of the set. You always get the 2 set bonus and the 3 set bonus. But if you have 2 pieces or more, you get the radiant particle detection. You get increased auxiliary power, and you really do get quite a lot of auxiliary power with this, and increased static perception. Static perception is basically how well you can see enemies who have got cloaking or abilities to evade your detection. It's only useful for. It's not particularly useful for most people, but it can be useful if you currently get taken down by mines a lot. Set 3 set bonus. Remember, this is useful if you have 3 pieces of the set or 4 pieces of the set. You can get increased engine power, so you can move around a lot faster. And same with the inputs expertise, moving around a lot faster. And you gain you get 50% reduction on your cooldown on transwarp. This means that you can transwarp instead of being once every 2 minutes. You can do it once a minute. But I can't remember what the cooldown is. But it does mean that you can use transwarp a lot sooner. Now, normally I would go on to the. Previously I would have gone on to the 4th piece set, but I'm going to really cover the 3-piece set, particularly using the 3 pieces of the set you've seen here. So, who's this 3-piece set for? This set is a strong focus on control effects. The impulse intrinsic power even at pulses falls away from your rear quarter when you use it. As an option for science, this is a decent for a budget set, but for day one, usually for the day one builds, however, it lacks the damaging skill points bonuses that many of the other science abilities have. I mean, gravity well just basically pulls everyone in, but does very little damage. The rest of the other sets have abilities have got have got stats in the ones that do damage, but you can boost work through it with consoles and your skill tree of choice. Now, is this set good? No, I think it's actually average. The stats are too much really focused on control, and it's not done much on the way of damage. It is, however, a decent option for what I call a decent for day one build set, which basically means mission rewards only. And I'm actually currently in the middle of revamping my build sets due to the build rules because of a recent change, but day one is still the same in both cases. However, the science-focused builds are often hard to learn correctly by a new user, and by the time you usually get to learning to use science properly, you either can afford the better sets, or you've got the ability to get the better set. Anyway, next up is really what about the fourth piece, really. So the fourth piece came with the Lucari Huracan science vessel, which you've seen would have seen in the episode, because Kamaki was flying that ship. This ship was given out during the 10th anniversary, in which the mission of Signs and Portents launched, and that's the reason why I had to do it so many times. As an epic Phoenix prize, this ship is hard to retain, and is up against the Braydon Interceptor 4, which one do you get from the epic prize pack. I will point out that this ship's a decent science vessel from a personal experience with it, but the big thing is if you're getting this ship, you probably want to get this used as a warp core. You get one of two choices. Now, for most players, you'll be using the Braydon warp core. Now, this is for anyone with a standard warp core, and the Romulans. I'll show you the Romulans version of later. This one's got increased control expertise, which boosts up your control from a little bit, from quite high to very high, and it gains additional auxiliary power and increases your auxiliary power, which is capped at 125 to 130. This is very nice to get, and this has a warp factor speed, which in sector space is about 9.97, which is just could be affected by some of the other gear choices if you don't as well. It adds 7.5% of your auxiliary power to your engine power as bonus power. This means that if your auxiliary power is 100, your engine power will gain 7.5, or basically 7 or 8 points additional above the whatever the engine power whatever you set the engine power to be. You will also get some of additional bonuses as well. So if you depend on your skill choices, but that happens. You also get increased slipstream speed and slipstream turn rates, which you can tweak it, turn a bit easier than some of the other ships. Other ships when you slipstream. Now, as warp cores go, you usually get a capacitor, which in this case it's the Braydon Enhanced Engines capacitor. This gives you and the rest of your team engine power to. This will clear any most movement debuffers. If your engines were taken offline for whatever reason, it'll repair those, and it will increase your engine power inputs engine power by 15 points for 10 seconds, but it has a 4-minute recharge. So hope you can hope you could do that to enough time. Moving on to the singularity core. Now this is useful if you're flying a Romulan warbird, because this is really the only one you can really use it on. Now you get, like the warp core, you get a pile of control expertise and increased auxiliary power. Now this auxiliary power is based on your singularity charge level, which will matter how much you're in battle for. Your auxiliary power is from at the start of a battle will be 5, but by a few minutes in you'll be 15. This also increases your singularity charge rate by 20%. So when you do use your science abilities, it will be quite nice by the time you use stuff with auxiliary power. Again, like the standard warp core, you get increased straight stream speed and turn rate for when you eject space. Now you have a singularity jump, which is a skill within your standard singularity tray, or singularity tray, which I haven't shown off yet because, well, I don't actually use them that often. But then you also have this Braydon Reconnaissance Singularity Engines capacitor. I know it's a bit confused, a bit long, but it gives you a engine buff to the team like the standard warp core. This drains the entire singularity power to augment the engine power. It will clear movement debuffs and repairs any engines offline system. It gives up to 30 power based on your singularity level. So in other words, you can get a bit more power, but the Romulan engines naturally set up don't have a slightly less power anyway. And again, it's 4 minutes to recharge. Now, the big question is, what do you get if you have the 4-piece set? Now, the 4-piece set is the advanced Braydon cross wiring. You get shield loss safety now, which decreases the lockout duration of some of the set to one of the set engines, but by 45 seconds, and then you get the micro pulse overcharge increase by removing the engine power drain for when you use it, and adds knockback to the affected enemies and doubles the damage that you dealt. Now, is the 4-piece set worth it? And this one is a big question. It's worth asking. Given the cost it's being an epic token, it's generally considered not great set to go after. Many consider the Bajoran Intercept in the epic Phoenix token pool to serve a better use, and the console does a lot better. While it's got one of the highest defector engine warp core shield setting. Well, that's what DWES. the highest control set in the game. It can't really do damage with it, and you've got to rely on other sources of exotic particle generators. Control builds are not really recommended for beginner players because they can take time to learn. During that time, they may define the best deflector engine warp core and shield set in the game for this, which is believe it or not is I've used in the past. So yeah, if you have the hook from the actual event, you may actually already have access to another deflector engine warp core and shield for science, the Imperial Rift set. Now this one's actually free to reclaim by versus playing a mission 3 times, and this set was released in 2020, so you could have easily gotten it. So it's been Mike Sharp Writer. See you guys next time.